Welcome to PPR Podcast number 196. 196, dude.
196.
Who would have thought we'd be around for this line? This conversation brought to you by the San Diego Strike Force. I'm sitting next to the president of the Strike Force, Mr. Bert Grossman. Bert, you know, as a pass rusher, were there offensive tackles that gave you a problem?
Yeah, usually ones that are about 6'8", have long arms and are tall and can move side to side. They're always a problem.
Let's talk to one.
All right, let's talk to Jacobowitz. He's 6'8", but he's in high school.
In high school, weighs 300
Carlsbad.
pounds, and joins us now. Kai, before we get started, I just want to apologize to you because we did a couple Bert's breakdown. It all started with Bert not showing up, so I did one. And what number did you wear last year?
Last year I wore 75.
And what number are you wearing this year?
77.
So we broke down number 75, who seems to be a very big offensive lineman.
Yeah, he's good too.
Who did we break down? What was?
Yeah, that's Nate Allen, one of my teammates. He's great. I love Nate.
So that was Nate, but we said Nate was you. And your mom came up to me and said, I hate to break this to you. I have video of, so then I went to the sidelines while you guys were warming up, and I showed you. You were sizable. You're a lot bigger than Nate.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Anyhow, I want to start off
I got a question for
with
Gary.
an apology. Yeah, go away.
Now, Kai, Paul didn't really play sports, but who changes their number their senior year?
Yeah, why?
Why would you do that?
Is that for merchandising purposes?
Well, when one of the seniors last year had 77, I wanted 77 last year, but I ended up going with 75. So 77 was available this year, and that was the number I wanted.
Man. All right, Kai, I'm going to go off with the first question real quick because you already committed to Duke, committed early. You had an offer from San Diego State. Now tell me, because we go back and forth with this so many times on why San Diego State can't lock down a lot of local guys. They have been locking down, but what was, you don't saying bad, but I mean, what's the difference that you don't want to go to like a San Diego State, say, when they offer you?
Yeah, I mean, San Diego State was great. They showed my family and I a lot of love. The main thing was Duke's academics are just really stellar. I mean, they're in a league of their own across the country, mixed out with their football abilities. Duke really, really was an attractive option for me, being able to continue my life, not just through football, but in a career. They say at Duke that it's not just a 4-year commitment, it's a 40-year commitment. And, that was something that really attracted me.
Well, I mean, how does one get a 4.8 GPA? What do you do? Are you doctoring your transcripts?
Take a lot of AP classes.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. So you just got to take a lot of AP classes, get A's in those classes, and then keep your GPA high.
Hey,
now,
just
hold on,
before we
advanced
continue,
placement.
are you hearing him? Because I'm hearing a
little echoish?
No, is my IFB bad, or is Kai's audio good? Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
All right. So then I'll just assume it's my IFB.
AP, that's an advanced placement?
Yes, I get it.
What was yours again?
My GPA when I graduated was 2.3 in high school, and I got it up to 3.2 in college.
Junior college.
Yeah.
Community
But
college.
I mean, numbers like 4.8, I don't even know that number existed when I was in school.
Yeah, I don't think we had weighted GPAs back then. No, we didn't.
So anyhow, what are you studying, young man? I mean, what do you want to study?
So I'm thinking business, something like economics maybe. I'm taking the AP economics right now, and it's really fun. I've heard a lot of the guys on the football team over at Duke take that, and it works out with their schedule. So something like economics, business related.
Hey, are you switching out?
Yeah, that's right. Keep
Kai, you know what? I was always curious about this because you have, is it Tyler, your kicker, that's really good?
Yes, sir.
So you have like Julian saying there last year. So obviously every college comes through. You have colleges coming through for you. When a college comes through to watch a kicker, is that different than everybody else? Is it just like a weird side guy comes and he just goes off in the corner? Or is it actually a coach that looks at the kicker, or is it a kicking specialist that comes and looks at a kicker?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have specialists that come out and look for him. He's a great kicker. Coach Mack gets every coach from across the country, every level, assistants, head coaches, everything coming out to look at us. It's a really great deal, getting able to build those connections. But yeah, I mean, I think every kind of coach comes and looks at Tyler. He's great.
Yeah, can I go? I hate to go back, but I don't want to leave the academic worlds because you picked Duke, but you also had offers from several Ivy League schools, right, or whatever their version of Ivy League offers are. Tuition help. Did you consider being an Ivy Leaguer?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did. My grandfather played defensive tackle at Harvard. I think he graduated in 1968, 69. So, that was the Ivy League route was definitely something that I was considering, but I ended up going with Duke. Pretty similar in their academics, but.
Yeah, so what I guess, because they're similar in academics, but Duke plays big-time college football, whereas Harvard not as much. And yeah, it's hard to get that mix between the two. UVA is kind of the same way if you want to play big-time football and academics. I didn't get to go to any of those schools personally, but I was kind of with you. I didn't have a weighted GPA.
I don't think I were you. So, young man, I mean, what's more important to you? Academics or football? I know that's an incredibly unfair question because you have to be guarded in what you say. But I mean, do you dream of being a successful business person, or do you dream of being a successful NFLer?
Yeah, I mean, football is my passion, and I know that it can take me very far. But football one day ends for everybody. No matter if you don't go to the league, you go play overseas, or you play 20 years in the NFL. One day football is going to be over, and having a strong academic background, I think, will take me very far in life. As I said earlier, with a 40-year commitment at Duke, that's something that they stress.
Hey, I want to go back to your Granite Hills game last year. I mean, it was at your play. I mean, iconic game, atmosphere, everything. What's it like for you to go? Because Julian's a senior. I mean, it's such a high level of intensity, during the game, and then all of a sudden you lose and it's over. What's that like in the locker room after that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking, seeing all those seniors play their last game. As a junior, I knew I had another year, but still, I was really upset that we lost. But obviously, because we had a chance to go to the Open Division Championship game. But also, I mean, for those seniors, it was heartbreaking seeing them in the locker room after. I mean, they were, a lot of them were crying. A lot of them were they just did not handle it. So it was hard.
And then to just expand that question, your senior year is not as magical as your junior year. How tough is it to know that you're not going to be in the Open Division, and it's not going to be the kind of year that you were hoping it was going to be as a junior? It's going to even fall short of that as a senior. Can you speak to what is going through the mentality of the football program right now?
Yeah, it's a little different. We're used to being in that open conversation. We have been for the last 5 years. But now taking it to the D1, we're still attacking it with the same mindset. We're still preparing every day, like if we're going to the Open Championship and beyond. So, there's no difference from how we're preparing. It's a little bit different in where we're going, D1 versus Open. But, yeah, it's been a little bit different, but, we're not really thinking about it. We're attacking what's next.
Have you taken a peek at what D1 might look like?
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, like programs like yours. If you're not in an Open, then it's a bust season. But and not to put any other teams down, but Lincoln is so loaded this year. I mean, you're almost. I mean, why would you want to go to Open? I mean, Division I, you can go to state playoffs. You can win Division I. You can win CIF. I mean, it's just people, and Division I is loaded this year. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's the most competitive by far.
Just because of your Open pedigree, I don't know that's going to translate into an outcome. You guys got some work cut out no matter where you're playing, right?
Yes, sir, definitely. I mean, the D1's looking pretty good this year too. So no matter who we play, it's going to be a hard competition, no matter what our seed is. I mean, there's a lot of great teams in D1 this year. Yeah,
and that's part of the thing I don't like about the Open. And you guys, your sophomore year, I mean, you lose to Lincoln at the last minute. You're still the two best teams in the county, but you can't go to playoffs. Or you lose to Granite Hills, you can't go to playoffs. Or Lincoln can't go to state playoffs because they lose to Granite Hills. That's the one part that I think they punish teams on that I don't like about the Open. Whereas Division I, you can go all the way as far as you want.
Bert, that's a fair criticism, and I think a lot of people have voiced it. But I mean, how do you fix it?
I don't know. But I mean, but you're looking at the Open, you're saying, well, we have 6 berths come out, but the second, third, and fourth best teams in the county can't go to the playoffs.
I get it,
which is crazy.
It's a fair complaint.
Well, Kai, when you're a lawyer, we're gonna file a suit. Yeah. Corporate attorney, you're free.
We can't. We have to ask our typical Carlsbad question. Well, when you're at Coach's restaurant, how much can you eat? How big of a bill can you run up?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Eli's taking us linemen to a few dinners. I'm not sure if that's Coach Mack paying for it or if that's Eli paying for it, but we eat pretty good. We eat pretty good down at that pizza place.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
I would say the meat lovers pizza is great. It's great. Yeah, meat lovers.
I want to go back to Duke for a second.
Okay, go. Please.
Kai, did you watch that SMU game?
Yes, sir. It's hard to watch.
Why? What happened?
Duke was beating them and had SMU had 6 turnovers and Duke had none and still lost somehow. I don't know how they lost. Kicking, it was a lot of That was one of the craziest games I think I've ever seen. To have 6 turnovers and you lose, and you have none.
How tough is it to go to a school like that? I mean, with all due respect, I know they play football, but the basketball team put that school on the map. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
So at 6'8", I guess you could contribute as a power forward, but does football have the same respect walking around that campus as the basketball team does?
Yeah, I mean, when I was there, they had a lot of respect. Coach Manny Diaz, head coach over there, one thing he talks about is bringing their football program up to the level of what their basketball team is. And, I think they're having a great season this year. They've had great seasons the past few years. And with him as the head coach, I think they're just going to continue to climb, continue to get better each year. I mean, our recruiting class 2025, I think is really special. And, I think soon we can really match the basketball team.
So hey, can I just follow? How'd they find you? Did you find them?
So one of Coach Mack's best friends works for their staff, and Coach Mack was talking to him, and he let him know about me, and he ended up watching my film, and he shared it with the whole program. Shared with the O-line coach. O-line coach really liked me. Ended up calling me a few days later after Coach Mack had that conversation, and they ended up being my first offer. So.
All right, I want to ask you a question. In your career, best defensive lineman you've gone up against in high school?
Last year, John Class from Mission Hills was really, really good. I mean, the kid was couldn't really touch him. Reminded me of like a Von Miller kind of guy where, he's not physically dominating you, but you blink and you don't even know where he went. So John Class is really good.
Where's he now?
Oh, where is he?
He's
Weber State.
Weber State? So because Granite had such a good defensive line last year. I mean, they had like 4 guys that were good. That was the difference about them. You just see one on the outside you can handle, or fan that way. But Granite had like 4. That was the impressive part about them, I thought.
Yes,
sir, I agree. Yeah, they had dogs all across that line last year.
Young man, right now you physically dominate most people you play. You are a big lad. And watching tape, when it's you and not your teammate, you engulf people, and the mismatch is evident. But at the next level, you are going to be encountering guys who perhaps maybe not as big, but certainly as quicker, whatever. It's going to be a whole different kettle of fish. You won't be able to impose your will on people like you do now. How does one prepare for that?
Yeah, so I mean, Carlsbad, the way our programs run, we're really ran like a next level program. We're given all the tools to be able to be successful at this level, and then succeed at the next level. So Carlsbad, I think, has prepared me really well. I know what I have to do to keep getting better. And working with the staff at Duke, strength conditioning staff, just getting better, building my body, and then just continue to practice against better talent. That I think that'll help a lot.
How big can you get?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but with the strength conditioning staff over at Duke, they got a Coach Feely. He's one of the best in the country. So, I'm really excited for that.
I'm going to go back to my because I asked the hard questions.
Okay.
Now that you're out of the open conversation, you can speak freely. Who wins between LCC and Cathedral in your mind?
LCC was pretty good, but I think Cathedral's doing some pretty special stuff this year, along with Lincoln. I really think it's going to be Cathedral and Lincoln in the final.
Who you got winning that?
Can a team that got pretty much manhandled in the regular season, can a team like Cathedral find a new way to attack Lincoln and make it a better game in the open division? Say it's a final, or even a semifinal. Can a team, or once you take out, because is it fair to say they got manhandled?
In the second half, they got manhandled. I wouldn't say in the first half.
Okay, well, say a team that, it was a decisive win.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lincoln scored a decisive win. Can one recover from that emotionally?
Yeah, I believe so. Anytime you play the team the second time, I think you're going to be better prepared. So is the team, so is the other team. But I think Cathedral could learn from their mistakes. I think it's going to be a great game if that ends up being the final.
Well, I was watching your game. Do you go against Colton Thomas?
Yeah, in practice. Yeah.
So how's that with you two? Because that must be a pretty good one-on-one showdown with you two, huh? Because he's quite feisty.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, he's a great kid. Colton's my guy. Going one-on-ones, it's back and forth. He'll win one, I win one. Colton's great to go against. Makes me better every day.
Yeah, he's feisty. I like him. Feisty. I'm talking like you now. Feisty. Saying old man words. God.
All right, let me ask the stupid questions now. Young man, take us through a typical day eating. You wake up. I want to know how many calories you're putting into that 6'8", 300-pound frame, and what does it take to keep you fed? Do you go to McDonald's anymore?
I mean, sometimes you gotta eat. You gotta have a little fun when you eat. But no, really, what I eat. I mean, I wake up and I just eat whatever my mom makes me. Honestly, that's a better question for my mom. My mom feeds me. She fuels me. My dad too, but my mom really takes care of me. Anything she eats, anything she puts down on the table, I'll eat it. So, maybe we should ask her that one.
But you go through the day. You have breakfast at home, lunch at school. Would you eat a second time before you practice, or is it just 3 squares a day? I'm just figuring that you must be burning through a lot of calories in the course of a day.
Yeah, probably closer to 4 meals, eat at school and then get to come back home, eat again, and then eat a dinner after practice. So, yeah, closer to 4 meals.
Are you home right now?
Yes, sir, I am.
So what's a 6'8", 300-pound offensive lineman doing with a Manchester United thing on his bedroom wall?
Yeah, so, I mean, I used to play soccer, as you guys might know. That was what I played my whole life. And, Manchester United's my team, so got to rep them.
Oh, hold it. I didn't know you played soccer.
I didn't know that either.
So tell us about your soccer career. When did it start? When did it end?
Yeah, so I played soccer my whole life, probably from about 4 years old until last year. Soccer was everything. That was the only sport I played. And then Coach Mack got after me at school, told me to come play football. And, spring of my freshman year. So I didn't play freshman season, but I was there for spring ball going into my sophomore year. That's when I started playing football, and ever since then it's really taken off.
So wait, you didn't play youth or anything? You played soccer, you didn't play youth football?
Exactly, yes sir.
So what were you, the goalie? I mean, you're big enough to just...
You weren't running with everybody.
No, yeah, I was the goalie.
All right.
So you take up a lot of space. I get that. Penalty kicks are a little more tough, but I find that fascinating. So why Manchester United? Because everybody likes Manchester United?
I mean, I guess so. That's just I feel like that's one of the first teams I watched when I was growing up. They were always on. They were really good when I was younger. And, they're struggling a little bit right now, but that's just always been my favorite team.
Wow, we got to get some of your soccer pictures out. You got to send me some of your soccer
pictures. Do you have
pictures.
soccer video? Do you have soccer pictures?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen.
Yes, sir.
Before this day is over, right after we're done here, I want pictures of your visit to Duke, if you have any. I want pictures of you playing youth soccer, if you have any, and as many as you can turn up. And what was the other? What was the other thing I wanted from you? Well, that's it. And if you have anything at the pizza place, send me that as well.
That'd be nice.
I'm going to give you my email when this is over. Do it right away, okay? Because we start cutting this up in just a little bit. Tell us about your family.
Yeah, I live with my mom and my dad. I have an older brother. He's 20 years old. He goes to UCSD just down the road. Great family life, honestly. I mean, really simple, really easy. No issues.
Is everybody a giant or just you?
No, I mean, it's kind of weird. My dad's 6'2", my mom's 5'4", brother's 6 foot, but so it's kind of an anomaly. But my mom says her uncles were tall, so I think that's where I get it.
Got it. All right, well.
IFB keeps going out. Yours?
No, mine is...
Sorry, Kai, I'm in technical difficulties over here.
All right, so young man, our standard questions to end this, and I'm hoping you can share with us something that along the way that you've received from a coach or parents. Best advice you've gotten, let me try that with English. The best advice you've received, who gave it to you, what is it?
Yeah, the best ability is availability. That's something I live by. I believe first time I heard that was Coach Katz, our running backs coach. That's something he says. Being able to show up every day and work hard every day, I think that's something that that's made me great. I mean, I could have just stopped showing up, quit football. We never knew what would have happened. But I showed up every day. I worked hard. I put the grind in. At Carlsbad, when you grind here, you're going to become a great player. So. The best ability is availability.
All right, I got my standard question too.
Okay.
All right, Kai, you ready? In your short football career of 2 years, since I just found out you just started playing.
That's amazing, Kai. That's
yeah. Worst.
I mean, you're pretty good for a guy who's only been playing for a little while.
Worst moment in football and best moment in football.
I would say my worst moment was my first game against Inglewood last year. It was one of the first plays of the game. It's my first varsity start. I'm kind of freaking out, and we have a counter, and I'm pulling, and I don't see this linebacker. This guy from Inglewood hit really hard, and I didn't see him. Just got me. So I kind of went down like a tree. I mean, fell hard. And then best moment. This season's just been really fun playing with all my buddies. Senior year has been great. Probably last year homecoming against LCC was a really good game, really close game. Being able to beat them on our homecoming was awesome.
That was the 500-yard passing or 1,000 yards passing game, right?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Tell us about Quinn Roth. I mean, as a.
Oh, I got one question.
Oh, let me finish mine, please.
Mine's the last one. We argued.
Okay.
We're married.
All right, you can get the last one.
All right.
This is my last one. That game, your guy can spin the ball. He's doing it at Ohio State. That Quinn Roth kid is pretty good too, is he not?
Yeah, I mean that was the first game last year where I really got to see him do that. I mean, he was great against us last year, and then this year he just continued it. They're having a great season over at LCC. He played great against us on Friday night. I think he's special. He's really good. He's a great kid too.
All right, now back to the Inglewood game. You get ear hold. What's the worst part? That part, or that 48 hours or 24 hours before film study in front of the whole team, where you got to watch you getting ear hold all over again?
Jeez, I mean, both were pretty bad. Coach Mack kept going around saying, "Somebody calls CPS," after what those linebackers did to me, and a lot of our guys got by that dude. But probably in the moment was worse.
Just to follow up on that, and I want to get watching film, or in my day it was film, and your guy's day it's video, or watching digital. When you watch it as a group, can you talk about, it can be the best of times, it can be the worst of times, can it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anytime we're watching film with Coach Mack, it's always all business. Got to keep it together, Got to focus on what we're watching. But sometimes he'll make a joke, everyone starts laughing. It's great. It's a great time. And then we got to snap back in. So watching film's great. It's great for how you can compare yourself, but it's also fun sometimes.
The worst is when they rewind it like 10 times, but don't say anything. But you know why they keep rewinding it like 10 times, but don't say a word, and they just look back at you. Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't have a lot of bad film days, so not till I was older.
Yeah, but it seems like coaches, and check me if I'm wrong, they seem to focus more on the things that went wrong than they do on the things that went right. Is that just part of being a coach?
Yeah. I think so. You want to make your guys better. I think a player understands what they did well better than what they did bad. So being able to learn from your mistakes and your coach being able to help you learn, I think is really important. I think I'd rather have a coach who's on my case a little more than a coach that's just patting me on the back and telling me what I did well. So,
all right.
Wait, why aren't you in school today?
We got an early day right now, so we have a little lunch break. I have enough time to just come home, then I'm gonna go back.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're going to call it a conversation. We've hit our max here with you. All right. Oh, I thought of the other thing I want a picture of. You mentioned your grandfather played at Harvard. If you have any of those pictures, please send them to me. My email. Now you're an Ivy Leaguer. You should remember this.
I'll send it to him.
All right. Bert's going to send, and please, and send them Maddie's too, so they send them to both emails.
I don't know Maddie's.
mworley@kusi.com.
Okay.
Young man, if you could make it a priority to get us these pictures, we can make the cut-ups better. We'll post this whole raw thing in a little bit, and then we start posting the cool parts on our social media later today, early this evening. So thank you. Again, our humble apologies for misidentifying you.
All good.
But tell your mom we want to make it right with this interview, and we wish you nothing but success. I'm betting that we're going to see you at the gala on December 3rd, and you better not stiff us because you're going to be up for Iron Hog probably, right?
Yeah, don't stiff us.
Yeah, don't say. We'll see you, and I'll come shake your hand and apologize face to face.
Well, you won't be. You'll be looking at his belly button. Sorry.
Kai, go back to school. Thank you so much for being with us on PPR Podcast 196. Everybody, turn off the machines. The conversation's over.
Thank